Hey everyone, Gabriel here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how you can deal with Facebook ads inconsistencies and what to do when you just aren't able to get consistent results with Facebook ads. So this is one of my stores here, and as you can see today it's at 1.7k in sales. But if I go back to the start of the year, you'll see that in January I was doing bigger numbers with this store. So at the start of January, you can see that I was doing about 5k all the way up to 10k a day with this store, but then it quickly started crashing down. And then there was Chinese New Year, which I was scaling down for. And now I've been trying to bring it back up to the levels at which it was at before, so 5 to 10k a day. And I've been dealing with a lot of inconsistencies, and so I want to show you guys how I've been dealing with them and still managing to gradually keep on scaling to at the point where it's now at 4 or 5k a day on average. And so that's what the video is going to be about, and let's just get right into it. First off, I want to talk about why these Facebook ads inconsistencies happen, because it is normal, and once you understand why it happens, then you'll be much better equipped to take action and fix it. So the first reason why is that Facebook ads is an auction platform, which means that there's a lot of external factors. And so it's not going to be consistent, because some days you're going to have more advertisers bidding towards a certain audience. There's all these external factors that you can't control because it is an auction platform. We're going to talk a little bit more about how the auction works, but that's the first thing you need to know, is that just because it's an auction platform, there's going to be a lot of inconsistencies. Now, the second reason is that there's not enough ad space proportional to the amount of advertisers that are currently advertising on Facebook. And that's why you see Facebook rolling out all these new placements, Instagram story, marketplace placement, and they're almost forcing you to use those placements. And the reason is that there's just not enough room on the Instagram and Facebook feed for the amount of advertisers who are trying to promote on there. And so the result is that it's very, very competitive, and only the best ads, the best advertisers get to advertise, because there's just not enough room for all the advertisers. And so the result is that campaigns fizzle out if you don't win enough auctions. If you don't deserve to win the auction, if there's advertisers doing better than you in that same auction, your campaigns will fizzle out and you will not get consistent results. Now, I pulled up this image from Facebook to show you how the auction actually works. And basically, they rank ads based on a total value. So this total value is what's used in the auction. And how they calculate this total value is a mix of advertiser bid. So this is how much you're bidding. So if you're doing lowest cost bidding, which is the standard way, this isn't really a big point of focus for you, because it's going to bid however much it needs to. So the second component is estimated action rates. Now this is basically your conversion rate. And if you look into detail, it actually shows you what their estimated action rates are. And so the first one is estimated click-through rate on your ad, and the second one is the estimated click-to-conversion rate. So if you're optimizing for purchases, they're going to measure the click-to-purchase rate. And so they're measuring this estimated action rate right away as soon as you start running your ads. And then if they see that it's good, this is going to help your total value, and you're going to win more auctions. If your estimated action rates are bad, that means that your total value is going to go down and you're going to stop winning auctions. And this is when your campaigns fizzle out. Now, the third part of the auction is the user value. This is, the user experience on Facebook. This is one of the most important parts to optimize for as well, because this is what Facebook really cares about at the end of the day, is that their users have a good experience. And how you measure this user value, they give us a metric for this, and it's the relevance score. So, if you have a high relevance score, that means that your user value is good, and that'll help you win more auctions. If you have a low relevance score, your user value won't be good, and you won't win as many auctions. Now, it's a mix of all of these three things, right? It's not only one of them. If you have a good relevance score, it doesn't mean that you're going to win a lot of auctions. You need to have all of these in place. Usually what happens, in my experience, what I see happening is that the estimated action rates aren't high enough, and then you don't win enough auctions, and your campaigns will fizzle out. So that's how the Facebook auction works. And now that you understand that, we can get into how to deal with these inconsistencies. So the solution is basically to test more, do more testing, new ads and new audiences. And the goal of doing this is to find matches of ads plus audiences. So you want to find ads that match a specific audience. That way you can get a high user value, so a high relevance score, and you can get the estimated action rates that you need in order to get consistent results. And the only way you're going to do that is to test a lot of different audiences and creatives and find the right match between the audiences and the creatives. So what you can do is, if you're experiencing inconsistencies, if you have an audience that was performing well before, so you had a lookalike audience, like add to cart lookalikes, for example, that were doing really well, or a specific interest, then you should test that audience with new ads. If your ads aren't consistent, test that audience with new ads and try to find a good match of audience and ad. And then once you do that, and the relevance score is a good thing to keep track of, but also just the estimated action rates that you're getting. Are people clicking through on your ads, and are people purchasing through your ads? And when you find a good audience and ad match, that's when you're going to be able to get consistent results. So yeah, if you have an audience that was performing well before, test it with new ads. And if you have an ad that was performing well before, test it with new audiences. I wrote here, small changes can make a big difference. So just a different ad copy, right? Like a different headline in your ad copy, that can appeal to different audiences, which will, create a different click-through rate. It'll get you better relevance scores and basically a better audience ad match to help you win more auctions. Another thing that you should be testing when you're getting inconsistencies is testing new angles. And that gets thrown around a lot, test new angles, but a lot of people don't understand what that means. And what it means is basically focusing on a different pain point or a different emotional benefit of your product as the main thing that you're promoting in your ads, right? So that's the main angle of your ad, and you want to test different angles. So for example, if you're selling a posture corrector, which is a really popular product, if you're selling a posture corrector, the obvious pain point is poor posture, right? So you could have ads running, improve your posture, fix your posture, something like that. And then if that stopped working really well, you could test a different angle. So instead of, posture, you could talk about the health problems that come with poor posture, right? So relieving back pains instead of improving posture, right? That's just an example of testing a new angle. Testing a new angle can make all the difference, like I said, and then you'll get different estimated action rates and different relevancy to the user, and that can make all the difference for your ad. So this is definitely something that you want to test as well. Now, this one here, new ad formats, this is also something that can make a big difference. So I showed you at the start my store how it was doing 5 to 10K a day, and then it went down to about 1K a day, and now it's doing 4 or 5K a day again. What I did, the main thing that helped me get back on track was testing new ad formats. So in the past, I was testing only long format ads. So, 30 to 40 second ads, 30 to 45 seconds. I decided to test a short version of that ad. So I made an ad that's only 15 seconds long for feeds, right? Still for feeds, but just shorter. So instead of a 45-second video, I tested a 15-second video, and that performed a lot better. And so I was able to scale that ad, and that's one of the main ads I'm working with right now. So you definitely want to test different ad formats, right? See how your audience reacts to a long video versus a short video. And when something is working, you want to double down on it. Now, this is obvious, but when you find an audience creative match, so you find an audience that's performing well with a specific creative, that's when you really want to double down on that and start scaling that, because you won't find that many perfect audience creative matches. But when you do, you should really scale it, and you won't feel a lot of resistance scaling something when it is a perfect audience creative match, right? If you're struggling to scale something, that's usually not a good sign. That means that you probably need to test more and find a better audience creative match to scale. So I wanted to add this into the presentation. So this is my hierarchy of testing, and this is basically all the different things that I usually consider testing, ranked in the order of the impact that it can have on your results. So the first one is your marketing angle. So the main pain point or value proposition that you're focusing on in your ads. So changing this, testing this can make the biggest difference in terms of your results. Now, the second thing is your video or image ad, right? So testing a completely different video or image. Obviously, this is going to make a huge difference. And I put in brackets scroll stopper because I talk about this in a lot of my other videos, but when you're testing different videos, all you really need to change a lot of the time is the scroll stopper, and that can make a really big difference. Now, like I just explained in the slide before, testing completely different formats, so testing a shorter video format can also work very well, and so this also goes in that category. So testing different video or image ads, that's the second most important thing in my experience. Now, number 3 is thumbnails. Thumbnails can make a really big difference, even though most platforms have autoplay on for videos. Testing different thumbnails can still make a really big difference for those people who don't have autoplay on. Number 4 is your ad copy. Your ad copy can make a big difference, especially the first line of your ad copy. But, I put it number 4 because it definitely doesn't have as big of an impact as a different video or a different marketing angle. Now, number 5 is the headline on your ad. This can make a big difference as well. And number 6, a CTA, your call to action. So testing, shop now versus learn more. This can make a very small difference, but it's enough of a difference that it's something that you should consider testing. All right, everyone, so that is pretty much it for this video. Now, before I end it, I want to quickly give you an update on my course, Ecom Blueprint. And for those of you who haven't heard about my course yet, basically, I show you exactly how I started and scaled a new store to over $1 million in sales in just 5 months, and everything is case study based. Now, it's been just over a month since I launched the course, and so I want to show you some of the results that people have been getting inside of the private group because it's incredible. So this guy here was able to scale a store to over 50K a day which is insane because he was saying that just a few months ago he was losing money and, he was just starting out in dropshipping. And in total, I think he was able to do over 400K in just like 1 or 2 months, something like that. And eventually he got his PayPal account limited. And so he had to slow down a bit. And now he's working on fixing that. But still, crazy success story. Another one here, 8K a day. These are all inside of the Ecom Blueprint private group. So that's the private group that comes with the course. 112K in 15 days. 10.7K in 1 day. And this one here, the month of February, notice how sales started to increase significantly just after Gabriel released his course. So you can see this is when I released the course, and his sales really just skyrocketed after that. And this one here, so he posted a video showing his stats, and he did over $100,000 in 30 days with 45% profit. And he was following exactly the blueprint that I share in the course. So if you want to join in, you can use the discount code SAFE50 for $50 off. And I'm going to be turning off this discount code very soon because a lot of people have been taking advantage of this offer. So yeah, if you're interested in joining, make sure to join soon. Like I said, you can use SAFE50 to get $50 off. Alright, so that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and got a lot of value out of it. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it supports the channel. And leave a comment below telling me what you want to see next. And last thing, if you haven't yet, make sure to join the Ecom Mastermind group on Facebook. It's going to be one of the first links in the description. And it's a community of active e-commerce entrepreneurs. We're at over 23,000 members now. And so if you haven't joined yet, you really should, because there's a lot of value that gets shared in that group. And so on that note, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.